Keep going down.
Thank you.
Alright.
Refreshing my memory.
We didn't really make a lot of changes to those tables, except for I just tried to make sure that 1B started appearing as you can't do it there for a bunch of things.
It might have been a bolding thing, no, I think go, yeah, keep going the direction you're going. No, the other way, the other way. I thought there was something that should be bolded, one more. Right there, outdoor recreation and entertainment facilities. Is that supposed to be, or does that make it overly, oh, never mind, yeah.
We can do it. I mean, it won't be a bad thing. I can take like another look at those. For some reason, you know, on different systems, it is a little typically bit different. So I'll see what I can do as far as reformatting that one more time.
You
They
need to
wanna
change
really
that
say
to large,
this and
you need to change wind energy facilities large.
Yeah, something's up. I should be able to do something there. Before I make another print, I'll try to fix that.
You wanna just do an experimental copy before you do
Yeah.
anything, just in case it does.
It's just
Oh
tables.
boy, when you start messing with table swings, I've seen it blow a hole.
Yeah.
I
Save
know.
Save a
I'm
copy.
agreeing with you.
Yeah, I've seen it blow an entire
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
next thing you know, as you're trying to fix it, it crashes.
Right, I definitely agree. So,
And it's a little thing when you go to say undo, it says can't undo.
When the computer starts smoking.
Is that font different, right up on the, above tier one, on tier one? Or right there, I'm sorry, right above tier two. Is that font any different, or is that intentional?
oh,
or-
I think that was intentional, but
Okay,
it
well,
was a 10.
doesn't matter, it just, you know, they're, just look a little different, so.
How was that? I'll see what I can do with that.
Remember, if you can't, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, believe me, I'll try. I will prioritize. I think you guys wanted me to do this.
I think you may have, there may be an extra space on 14.1.4.1 or the second line or similar. Does that look like an additional? No. Right next line below. Similar. One, go up. Doesn't that look like there's an
Things
extra?
are similar.
Yeah, there's an extra space. You maybe add pages to this. this section was not that entertaining to format.
Should be number 8. 141438.
Article 5, section 9, load, the first line.
Yeah. Yeah, I can still. Paul, you having nightmares yet? Paula,
Hey,
are you having nightmares yet?
I was sleeping, but I wasn't, I was having no dreams or anything.
Did we wake her up?
Oh, I was supposed to be awake, I'm sorry.
I was just wondering if you were having bad memories.
No, not of this one, no.
Well, no, of all this formatting.
The tables, maybe.
Oh crap, that's not gonna go.
You took the entire point of having an adult business out of there.
Oh, well,
No drinking, no.
well, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think. Actually, these laws, I think, are in place in a lot of places. In California, they are allowed to have they can dance naked if you don't have any alcohol. But if they do have alcohol, they have to cover themselves. They're pretty minimal coverings, but they have to be covered. It's kind of interesting, you know, different laws, different states. So this isn't without precedent.
Bangor was that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter, yeah, you're right. Downtown, they did change that law in Bangor for a while. When they went through all that. So they have actually 2 different sections or whatever. One they serve alcohol, one they don't, or something like that. It's just.
I don't know if they've gone back to serving alcohol for
Anyway, it seems like this is the way things are done.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, a
If
lot
you
of
want to see
places.
something really wild, the old fairgrounds.
Oh, I know.
But my biggest question is how can Bangor allow have a business right across from the library?
I know. It seems like that's not a very good business location for that activity. I don't know.
Houston had no zoning, you would have stuff across the street from church, and it was just real.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they've tightened it up since then, but it's just like Dodge City, kind of that kind of stuff.
These are campgrounds, our tobacco industries. And this, we tried to control them last time, we didn't do anything, so that's why I have this in here. Is that right?
13.4.1, you use the section symbol, right?
Fourteen, say that again?
14.4.1, section symbol.
And then I add this in there, seems to be some concern about quarries. I read through the regulations. The quarry regulations for the DEP are very confusing. You've got to dig around to find them because they have a bunch of sections. There actually is a group of sections about quarries that are actually coming off the books on June the 1st. And actually I just discovered that wasn't there a couple weeks ago when I first did this. But after they closed the session and when you guys were looking stuff up, I went back and looked it up because I wanted to be sure about where this was and how to find it again. They're getting rid of some sections. And I didn't really understand the whole premise for it, but these sections seem to still exist. They're not being pulled. So basically, if the code enforcement officer, if we want the code enforcement officer to enforce a quarry regulation in town, they can. But we're not taking primacy over the state. It's just if the state doesn't move fast enough, we can do something about it. So that's the point of this. Mobile home parks. We did the same. Scenario. On non-conformity, or excuse me, on the making retroactive that we're not going to regulate existing mobile home parks. Communication towers. Now, what we did here, just because we had these discussions the past few weeks about these rooftop turbines like the one across the street. I talked to Bruce a little bit about this. You know, it came up and I didn't think it was necessary to rate something like that. That was probably 1 kW or smaller. And it just didn't seem like it's something that we should be fooling with.
Whirly gate.
What?
Like a whirly gate.
Right. So then, so we're not going to regulate the small ones like that. And then, if you have a single wind turbine for a capacity of under 10 kW, which is kind of like what people have for like a home generator. If you have a home generator, you might be up to 10 kW to generate power for your house.
If
You
you're
know-
trying to do anything serious.
What?
If you're trying to do anything serious or off-grid, normally above 10.
Right. So the code enforcement officer can issue a permit for that, but all the standards apply. So like, you know, the setbacks from property lines, the sound standards, all that good stuff, you know, they're gonna have to meet those standards. So if somebody goes and erects one and they have an issue with sound standards, they're gonna have problems with their neighbors. So the sound standards are uniform for everybody across the board for all different sizes. Is that right? Accurate, Bruce?
Yes, unless we accidentally made a mistake, they're all the same.
Right, so that's the goal. So then the next level up would be up to 100 kW. You know, so if you had like a little subdivision, put in like, you know, one, you know, 100 kW turbine, or maybe like, I don't know, 3 30 kW turbines or whatever because they're like, you know, along with a little solar project for their like 8-lot subdivision type of deal. You know, that's what this is intending to regulate that level.
something in the, up to 100 would normally be something a small business or somebody would put in,
Right,
because they're not cheap.
right, or a small subdivision.
Yeah, they could for a small subdivision if they wanted to go green.
Right, if they wanted to have that kind of project. So that's kind of what they, to enable those projects, you know, and they have to meet
Then we
this.
changed one other thing up there. We 200% height.
Right, Bruce researched it, we had 300%, Bruce researched it and found that, you know, the engineering studies indicated the distances, you know, at double the turbine height seemed to be adequate for ice throw.
If you look at that, one of the biggest ones was that big Massachusetts study. And they have a whole section on ice throw and all the calculations made to determine how far it could throw, and a whole bunch of actual case studies of how far it actually was thrown. And the indications are 200% is more than adequate.
So that's why is what that is. And they still have to meet the FAA permits and stuff like that. And here's reflecting the L90s.
Maybe an extra space there on that one, that 147231. The sound limits are, I think maybe an extra space there. And further down, the same sentence, wind turbine, I think there's a space or two extra ones.
Is it just me, or does that first line, that need some more words, or is it a heading, or is it a sentence?
Yeah, Bruce.
What?
What's this mean? Read that sentence, and then Paul's right. There's something missing there.
Okay, well, we never changed that, so.
I know you and I didn't pick it up, so oh, I see what you're saying.
Sound.
That's been there.
Sound is defined as sound produced by the turbine under normal operating conditions, and then we always have this thing about,
Oh, well then this is actually a definition that needs to not be there.
well, in a way it is, except the sound levels that may be exceeded.
If we deleted it, that probably would be better.
Well, and you would want to leave the thing that says sound, because that is the title for that section.
Oh,
You
right.
could take out the sound produced by the turbine under normal operating conditions. But
How about this? Sound levels beyond
yeah,
Once again, there may be an extra space on 147232 after sensitive receptor. First line.
The next line down too.
compliances as,
Okay, this isn't really appendix A anymore though, Bruce. This is 14.A.
14.8 appendix A, you're right. Should add the 14.8 ahead of it. Okay.
Make sure it's reflected in the index.
Could you spell out appendix A?
About that,
That eliminates, I think, any,
okay. Actually, you mean B though, don't you?
no,
Well, that's where we do the compliance check, isn't it?
compliance is under A.
Okay.
Complaints are under B.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Article 18, bold it.
Okay,
That's
where
fine.
are you, Paula?
Down to, down,
Under 35,
One,
on 35,
5 decibel penalty.
yeah, okay.
after Article 14.
Okay, you good with that, Bruce?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's good.
Wait, numbering's off. 2.3, 2.3.1, 2.3.2, 2.3.3,
Yeah.
2.3.4.
How'd you miss that?
I have no idea. So look at the scale in there for homeowners to understand what they're doing. This is kind of where this is.
What's the number before the table, and the number after the table, are they in sequence there? 147236 and the one above it?
Well, there's no table, this is a figure.
It's gotta be 235.
Oh, okay, oh, okay. And then actually that goes into that level. And that needs to come over to there to match up, so there. 2.4.
It should be,
Okay.
You want to put the word article in front of 14.7? Over there as well, article. Under 14.8.2, the periods on MRSA.
operator, second paragraph under 14.8.3, where you've got the slash, third line down, oh, sorry, second line down. Should be-
Six, 7, 8.
On 14.8.5.1.9, must fill out appendix A at the end of 14, article 14.8, or just fourth line down. You wanna go ahead and delete that?
Yeah, we don't need that. So that's still okay. These are,
Did you want to, on the underlying part, capital, or bold, article, whatever the article number was? Whatever. Right there, Article 14 SPFC.
Bruce. He's asking if you want if you want to highlight this stuff. It's probably not necessary.
Doesn't change the meaning or anything, you can.
Not really gonna do
I
anything
don't
here.
really care one way or the other. Actually, it's kind of a,
It's the
like a
old,
footer or footnote.
Yeah.
type thing.
We still got letters in there, that was good.
yeah, those are, Bruce researched those references.
Those are the references from the existing ordinance.
Oh,
Ah,
okay.
okay.
That argues that you don't bold it, because it's longer.
And even if we had them wrong, I've been told that it's considered a clerical error and does not change the,
Change the intent to meaning.
or I copied it right off the.
You want to add article in front of 14.8 or on
Down.
I, down? Right there, I. And then the last one at pages.
Oh, so I can go do it.
Well, that one.
Yeah. I lost when I accidentally hit the wrong keys and I lost my copy buffer.
And then in 14.8.6.15, the last section there is, oh, I'm sorry, there's also an Article 18.
There's an appendix A at the top too, way up, way at the top of the page, there you go.
Which suggests he has to delete at the end of, or just.
This is almost as much fun as watching paint dry.
I prefer watching grass grow.
I agree.
Not saying.
Well, either way, writing it would have been fine, but this is more exact, this is fine. And more consistent.
It's painful at times.
Okay, we're good down to there, Dave?
You got it.
I believe so.
Okay, so then I found another table. This is a little bit more comprehensive because I kind of was gearing for bigger projects. Kind of say,